Hey gang, it's Mr. D. Today we're going to talk about the millions place. And I know a number that you see in front of you looks really scary, and I admit it looks really scary because it's so big. Okay? But if you remind yourself about what is a digit and what is the value of that digit in its place value, this is really not that bad. Here we have our first number, and we can all agree that this is 534 because this is the hundreds place. Do we all agree? Awesome. Okay, now we're going to go back to the next column, and we're going to look at 800 or 852. Let's just say 852. This is the thousands column, right? Or the thousands period. Each number in the thousands period, when you go back to the left, goes up by a value of 10 times that number. So the 2 here, when we go back to this column, goes up by a value of 10. But in this case, it's not 10 times 10, it's 10 times what? 10 times 10,000. Okay? In this case, there's a 5, and we have 50 10,000s. So now, if we read this number and we disregarded the 8, this would be 52,534. Now we're going back to the left. Now this is going up by a value of what? That's right. It's going up by a value of 100. But we have an 8 in this column, and this is the 800 thousands column, or the 800,000. That's how we read this digit. Now, if we read this whole column with this whole column, we have 852,534. Do you agree? All right. Now it's getting scary, isn't it? We're going up by greater values every time we go to the right, to the left. This is a new house. This is now the millions house. So we have 3 houses: the millions, the thousands, and the hundreds. We're going back to the left, but in this case, we're going up by a value of 10, but now we are in the millions column. So we're going up by a value of 10, but this is now the millions. So it's 10 times 1 million. And in this case, we have an 8, and this 8 has a value of 8 millions. Now read this number. Fantastic. 8,852,000, because this is the thousands house, 534. Now, we're going back. We're going back 7 digits. But guess what? We're still going up by 10, but in this case, we're going up by 10 millions. Because this is the tens place in the millions column. And in this case, we have a value digit of 1, and it's 1 times 10 millions. Now, read me the whole number. Well, 18,852,534. Woo! It just exhausts me to think of that number, that somebody could have that amount of something, money, coins, paper clips. I mean, if you think of paper clips, if somebody had 18,852,534 paper clips, what would that look like in this room? What would 18,852,534 look like in terms of money in this room? Oh, it gets real interesting as we go up in the place value scale. So, my hope is that you can understand place value a little bit better. And now we're going up to the millions column. Are you ready to do some practice? Let's go.